Today on the Bible in Minutes, we'll delve into the extraordinary story of Deborah and Jael. In the ancient land of Israel, during a time of chaos and turmoil, a formidable figure emerged, Deborah, a prophetess and judge. Beneath a palm tree bearing her name, between Ramah and Bethel, she dispensed wisdom and justice, guiding her people with an authority that defied the conventions of her time. Deborah was not only a dispenser of justice and counsel to the Israelites, but also a beacon of unwavering faith and determination. The land had been oppressed for 20 years under the rule of King Jabin of Canaan and his ruthless commander, Sisera, who terrorized Israel with 900 iron chariots. In this climate of fear and despair, Deborah received a divine vision. She summoned Barak, son of Abinoam, and delivered the Lord's command. Assemble an army at Mount Tabor to face Sisera. With the divine promise that the Lord would deliver Sisera into their hands, preparations began to change the course of Israel's history. Yet Barak, hesitant at the enormity of the task, made a request. He would only go to battle if Deborah accompanied him. With a firmness that resonates through the ages, Deborah agreed, but with a prophetic warning. The glory of victory would not belong to Barak. Instead, the Lord would deliver Sisera into the hands of a woman. Together with 10,000 men, they ascended Mount Tabor, readying themselves for the confrontation that would define their destiny. On the day of battle, Deborah stood resolute. Arise, for this is the day the Lord has delivered Sisera into your hands. Has not the Lord gone ahead of you? With these words, she spurred Barak into the valley of Jezreel. As Sisera's forces advanced with confidence, the Lord unleashed a mighty storm. Sisera's iron chariots were mired in mud, and Israel's army, propelled by divine favor, achieved a resounding victory, marking the beginning of the end of Canaanite oppression. As the battle raged in the Jezreel Valley, Sisera, the Canaanite commander, found his army in total disarray and his chariots rendered useless in the thick mud. In a desperate bid for survival, Sisera abandoned his chariot and fled on foot, seeking refuge far from the battlefield. His flight brought him to the tent of Jael, wife of Heber the Kenite. Who had maintained a tenuous peace with King Jabin. Jael welcomed him with apparent hospitality, offering him refuge and safety, a place to hide from his pursuers. Once inside the tent, the exhausted and desperate Sisera asked Jael for water, but in a gesture of cunning and deep awareness of the political moment, she offered him milk, a sign of care and nourishment, and covered him with a blanket. Trusting in the safety of the tent, Sisera succumbed to exhaustion and soon fell into a deep sleep, completely unaware of the fate Jael had decided for him in her heart. Aware of the pivotal role she could play in this crucial moment of history, Jael steeled herself for what she knew must be done. With silent and determined steps, Jael approached the sleeping man. Grasping a tent peg and a hammer, she performed one of the most daring and decisive acts in biblical history. With unwavering resolve, she placed the peg to Sisera's temple as he lay unconscious, oblivious to the reversal of fortune. With a single forceful blow, she drove the peg through his head, pinning him to the ground. This act not only secured Sisera's death, but also sealed Israel's victory over their Canaanite oppressors, marking a turning point in their liberation. When Barak arrived in pursuit of Sisera, Jael came out to meet him, revealing her bold action. "Come, and I will show you the man you're looking for," she said, leading him into the tent to see Sisera, now lifeless and utterly defeated. This moment powerfully underscored the critical role women played in the narrative of Israel's deliverance, highlighting Jael's bravery and decisive influence on the course of events. The impact of the victory led by Deborah and sealed by Jael resonated throughout Israel, ushering in a 40-year period of peace that followed the battle against the Canaanites. This time of calm allowed the tribes of Israel to flourish and rebuild, free from the oppression and fear that had marked their days under Jabin's yoke. The story of Deborah and Jael stands out even more when considered within the cultural context of their time, a period when women were rarely seen as leaders or considered for significant roles of authority. Deborah's rise as a judge and spiritual leader, alongside Jael's pivotal act of warfare, defied societal norms of their era. Their courage and resolve not only altered the course of Israelite history, but also challenged traditional perceptions of women's roles, proving that leadership and the power to effect change stem from character and faith, not gender. The legacy of Deborah, along with Jael's decisive act, was immortalized in the Song of Deborah, an epic poem that details the battle and celebrates the strength and audacity of women in leadership and acts of heroism. Through its verses, Deborah exalts God's intervention in human affairs and calls her people to remember and honor those who, with courage and faith, change the course of history. Thus, the story of Deborah and Jael leaves us with an eternal reminder that even in the darkest times, courageous leadership and bold decisions can illuminate paths to peace and justice. Moral: the story of Deborah and Jael teaches us that courage and wisdom know no boundaries or limits. Deborah, as a leader and prophetess, alongside Jael, who played a crucial role in a decisive moment, demonstrates that true strength lies in conviction and the ability to act according to divine justice. They remind us that each of us is called to fulfill a unique role in God's grand design, and that, with faith and courage, we can face and overcome adversities, transforming not only our lives but also the world around us. Prayer: Almighty Lord, who raised brave leaders like Deborah and Jael in times of great need, instill in us a spirit of strength and wisdom. Help us to hear your call clearly and to respond boldly, guided by your love and justice. Grant us the courage to face the challenges of our time with the assurance that you are with us, guiding each step we take. May we, like Deborah and Jael, become instruments of change and bearers of your peace in our world. Amen.